Hello, and welcome to Tip of the Week by CAD Tech Seminars. This tip, we're going to talk about how to load a font for Autocad. You may receive fonts from people, and you may have a problem finding where to load them. So let's go through and discuss how to load a font and utilize it. So we're going to start off here. I'm going to put some text in. Just come in here, pick the text. Let's see here. Actually, I'm going to use dtext. It'll be simpler. Dtext, dynamic text for people that have been around for a while. Okay, F8 on that. Pick a point, pick a height, and so let's type, right? Okay, we'll just do something simple. Cap locks A, B, C, D. Okay, so there we go. There's our text. Great, rotated it. I guess that really doesn't matter. We'll undo that. Let's try that again. D text. Pick a point. All right. F8. Okay. Enter. Enter. So let's type. At this point, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Alright, so there's our text. Escape a couple times, zoom in. Now this text is not the right text. Mr. Bob sent over his special text, and we need to utilize that. So what we need to do is find out where AutoCAD keeps the text, how to load the text, and then actually go ahead and then assign the text. So there are some settings I'll mention. One is called Font Alt, F-O-N-T-A-L-T. If this is turned on, you'll see down at the bottom it says Command Font Alt. Enter the value for Font Alt or type 0 for none. Simplex. So that means if AutoCAD cannot find a font style, what it's going to do, it's going to automatically force Simplex. So this is a neat tool they put in many years ago, but the problem is if it's turned on and you don't know it, it just swaps fonts out. And then you go to print this thing, and then you're like, hey, it doesn't look like the original, because behind the scenes it's automatically swapping the fonts out you can't find. So it's a good tool if you need to make sure stuff prints, but it doesn't produce a pretty document. So it's called Font Alt, F-O-N-T-A-L-T. If you turn that off, you just set it to put a period and hit enter. Now it's not going to substitute fonts. It's going to come up and throw you a warning. So you'll get a warning that says, I can't find that font. What do you want to do? So Font Alt is probably one of the reasons that you're having some weird font issues. So with that out the way, let's go ahead and talk about swapping fonts out. Now, at this point, I'm going to type in options, and I'm going to use a lot of typing because in any version of AutoCAD, you can type the command. Some people use ribbon, some people use shortcuts, some people use all these different options. You can always type the word options. So when I hit options, here we are at the options dialog box. Many people get there many other ways. In the files area, as we come down here, you'll see we have lots of information, including this support file search path. This is where AutoCAD is looking for the fonts. As I look through the list here, you'll see when it says fonts. Now, this is AutoCAD 2013, but it works in all versions. Program files, Autodesk, AutoCAD 2013 fonts. That is where the fonts are located. Now, if you're wondering, oh man, I gotta go find that, it's a pain in the butt. Here's another tip because my typing sucks. I actually will click in the field here, like I'm going to rename it, and then I right click and I hit copy. Okay, it copies the actual path for me without me actually having to remember it or type it. Then I'll go to my Windows File Explorer and I'll open that up. Now, let me go back to my desktop, and you'll see here I don't have a, I don't really, I just need to get to that folder, right? So I'll click here and I'll just paste it, Control V, or right click paste, and then I hit enter. And see, it sends me right to that folder. That's because, well, my typing sucks, and I've learned some tips to make my life easier, and that's one of them. So now as I scroll through here, we're looking for Bob font, right? So we scroll down here, and we notice that there is no Bob font loaded. So we got big font, but no Bob font. You're like, oh man. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click onto my screen now, or onto my desktop, and on my desktop you'll see I have right here Bob's outline text. It's an SHX font. That's the one he sent over. What I'm going to do is grab this, I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy it. Okay, I'll copy it. I'm going to go back to my Explorer. I'm going to paste it in this folder. Paste. So now, okay, all right. Let's hit continue on that. And now you see that Bob's outline is now loaded. So it's in the folder, and AutoCAD can now find it. What we'll need to do though is we want to make sure it loads it correctly because it saves it here. I'm going to hit OK on that. What I'm going to do is save what I'm working on. Let's drop this down. I'll just hit save, and I'm not even sure where it's going to save it. So we've saved it. So save it as my documents, that's fine, save. Alright, so we've saved it. We're now going to close out of AutoCAD and we'll reopen it. Close out, and then we'll reopen it. So now it's opening back up. And though this is auto, so here we are. Now we'll open the file back up, drop this down as I drawing one. Now you'll notice at this point the file is in here, same as before, but it's not using the right font. So what we can do is we'll now have to check out the styles. Now we have lots of different text options in here, annotation options, and you can go right here and adjust the text style. Okay. Now if you click on this box, it goes here. Now if you're using an earlier version, a newer version, it doesn't look like this. Just type in the word style, S-T-Y-L-E, enter. That will get you to the text style dialog box. So now the font that looks like Arial, it needs to be Bob's Big Font. So what we're going to do is grab this here, and we could make a new one if we want, if you want to do that. Or you find the font that's not showing right. Maybe it's the standard one. It's supposed to be Bob's Big Font, but maybe AutoCAD has swapped it out. So I'm going to come down here. Now another little tidbit. When we reopened up, if you've turned off the font alt, AutoCAD may come up and tell you that it can't find the fonts at that point, so it'll warn you. So you'll get a little bit different interface when you come up. Now I'm going to come in here, take the standard one, drop this down and say, let's go use Bob's font. So we come on down here. So here we are, looking through the list, and though I had it called Bob's Outline out there, there it is, Bob's Outline. So my brain just wasn't working well this morning, so there's Bob's Outline. So now you'll notice that standard is now using Bob's Outline. At this point I hit apply, and the whole project should now update. Close, and there it is. So again, recap, font alt might be the problem. See, being that font alt is turned on, AutoCAD is not telling you that it's missing fonts, it just automatically replaces them, which I'm not a big fan of, but it was put there a few years back to save people grief. And then secondly, how do I find the folder, load the font, and then set the font? So hopefully that helped out. If you have questions, comments, or need training or support for AutoCAD or Revit, feel free to contact us on the web at thebimguys.com. Thank you.